Yo, what is up guys, my name is AFC Adinho and welcome to another video. I'm doing the old school Adinho intro because I need to explain something before you watch the battle. Because I had a battle against Kuzu. This battle took place like in the beginning of this month and I actually didn't plan to upload it, but it kind of got on my nerves, so let me explain the story guys. Because Kuzu tried to disrespect me, insult me in different ways on different platforms. Like he does it on my YouTube comments, he does it in different Discord channels and servers. So at first I just let it go because who is he, man? And the reason he's actually doing this, or the reason he's most likely doing this, is because I one time refused him from our guild. And let me tell you why I refused him. Because the way he approached us wasn't really nice, and when he approached us I heard from multiple people that I trust that he's not a good person to have around in your guild. He doesn't give a good vibe. So I was a bit cautious, but I was still willing to give him a chance. Like when we don't know someone, we obviously are willing to give everyone a chance. But how he approached it wasn't the way to do it, because he claimed to be a top PvP player and he said specifically that he's one of the best players on the server. And I was like, okay, in my mind, you gotta be able to back it up when you claim something like this. But I was still willing to give him a chance, but then he demanded special treatment and he acted like he was better than everyone else. And that's why he went a bit too far. So I decided to refuse him. Everything seemed cool, but the next day he approached me again and I said the same thing, so everything still seemed fine. And then I got into a battle with him and I was controlling the battle. I had everything in my hands, and then I DC'd at one point, and when I came back I basically had to watch my glide score stay in against his mammoth swine, even though I had a Pokeone too and his mammoth swine was poisoned. And the reason losing my glide score was really bad because he had a Blissey, he had a Skarmory, and he had a Donphan, which my glide score could easily take on. So I ended up losing that game. And then he asked again and I still said the same thing, and that's where he got mad. He insulted me, he said he was going to report me, he took his complaints to the Pokeone Discord channel, insulted me there with my appearance and stuff, and said I was a bad player. And he tried to let everyone know that he won a game against me, even though I beat him like 9,000 times. But yeah, again, I just let it go. It was whatever. But recently he has been doing it a lot and he has been crying for my attention, so I'll give you my attention. This will be a battle against Kuzu, but first let's actually check out the top PvP player in P1, the self-proclaimed PvP top player. Okay, here, and we go to the all-time leaderboard, guys. We'll go to the all-time leaderboard because he might have a bad month, he might have a bad week, might have a bad day. So all-time gives us a bit of an idea of his average skill. So he's a top PvP player, so he should be somewhere on the top ladder, right? So let's check it out. I don't see him at the top 10, so we're gonna scroll down. He should be somewhere here, right? He's not in the top 100, okay? He's not in the top 100. Must be in the top 200 then. Not in the top 200, guys. If this is the best PvP player that Pokeone has to offer, then I worry a lot. Not in the top 300. Okay. He should definitely be in the top 500. Like, he isn't that bad, right? He isn't that bad. Okay. Still don't see his name. Maybe he didn't play a lot of games. That's why he doesn't have that high of a rank. Okay, he's not in the top 500. Damn. So we are really getting to the bottom. Again, it's not... You're not bad if you're not in the top 500, but don't claim to be... don't claim to be one of the best players if you're in that position. Don't see him in the top 600. Okay. Oh, here he is. He's ranked 695. He played 1612 games and doesn't even make it to the top 500, which is questionable for a top PvP player. He won about 810 games, which is about half of his games, so he does win half of his games, so that's not too bad. But he does also lose half of his games, and he has a skill rating of 22. Most people in my guild have a higher skill rating, so I guess my guild is full of top PvP players, the best on the server, and his top score doesn't even come close to mine. It's 1484. Let's actually check it out. Yeah, he doesn't come close to anyone here. So I think proclaiming that you are a top PvP player, one of the best on the server, is a bit too far if you cannot back it up with those stats. If you are trying to back it up with those stats, but let me know down in the comments, what do you think? Maybe he is a top PvP player and I don't know. But yeah, again, he tried to make fun of me, so he should be able to take this as well. And I'll show you guys the battle. I was trying out a Clefable set, and I thought it would have been funny to use Digger's B as well, but yeah, the team didn't have any hazard removal at all. I didn't have a good Earthquake switch in. Like, the best ones were Clefable and Chansey, but there was no Earthquake resist on the team, so there were some flaws there. But I was just trying out some things, and I'm not saying Kuzu is a bad player, because he's obviously not. But he was really claiming to be one of the best players on the server, and while being arrogant, and this was one of the reasons I didn't accept him in the guild. And I'm pretty sure he wins most of his games by cheesing his opponents with things like Counter Blissey, Mirror Code Tentacruel, Milotic, Magnezone. And that's usually good for tournaments because you can surprise your opponents, but trying to climb with it on a ladder is not really consistent enough in my opinion. But yeah, we'll just hop into the battle and I hope you guys enjoy. Yo, what's up guys, my name is AFC Adinho and welcome to another video. I got a game against one of my fanboys, Kuzu. He was actually really proud once because he won a battle in which I DC'd at one point, and when I came back I had to watch my Gliscor die to his Mamoswine, even though I had a full HP Porygon 2 in the back. But yeah, I'm gonna lead off with Magnezone in this one. This game should be fairly easy because Kuzu is a pretty average player, so I don't expect too much. But he leads off with Donphan. I expected him to lead up with the Skarmory because I believe it is Rocky Helmet. But yeah, pretty good lead on his part. See, I could go Chansey and get up my rocks and poison this, but I also don't want to lose my Eviolite just yet. I don't need it for the Magnezone, but might still be nice to have it for the Mamoswine, because with the Eviolite I'm able to tank a few hits from the Mamoswine. So the safest play is probably to go Clefable, but I cannot get Clefable too weakened because I do need it for the Dragonite, because I don't want to get swept by the Dragonite, so I need Clefable healthy. But I think it's my safest play. Like, I can still recover the damage if he does go for an attacking move. So I'm gonna go Clefable. Let's see what he does. He clicks Earthquake, which is understandable since I don't have a good Earthquake switch on my team. But I'm just gonna fire off a Moonblast. If he switches out, I will get some leftovers recovery. But he decides to stay in and he goes for a knockoff. I guess it's understandable, but now he's most likely going to switch out. So I'm gonna go for the healing move as he actually decides to stay in and goes for another Earthquake. Which is not bad for me because I basically got free leftovers recovery. Kinda because I did recover off the health he did with knockoff. The damage with knockoff. So I'm just clicking Moonblast now. He will most likely switch out because if he stays in, Donphan takes damage and it's unrecoverable damage. He actually does decide to stay in, so I think it's a poor play in my opinion. But yeah, I'm gonna go for the healing move as Donphan is now really low. He has no leftovers, he has no recovery moves, so this Donphan is in a bad spot. But he switches into his Magnet Zone and I get my Clefable healthy enough. This should be enough help for the D-Knight. So I'm just gonna go into Chansey. He will most likely go for the Volt Switch, predicting the Chansey. But I have no reason to over predict here, so I'm gonna go Chansey as he clicks Flash Cannon. So this means I'll get up my Stealth Rocks, which is nice, and this Magnet Zone is forced to switch out. And those Stealth Rocks are really going to help me since this Donphan is really low. He cannot freely go for a Rapid Spin anymore. He cannot do it on any of my members. But he goes for Volt Switch now, which means his Magnet Zone is not Choice Scarfed. So my Diggersby is going to be faster, which is a lot of good information. He Volt Switches into his Mamoswine. And I'm just gonna click Toxic here. If it was a good player, I would have clicked Soft Boil. But since he's pretty average, I'm just gonna go for Toxic because I kinda wanna end the game. As he clicks Icicle Crash, and he cannot kill me with Earthquake here, so I'm gonna go for the Soft Boil. As he clicks Icicle Crash again, I guess he tries to flinch me, he doesn't get it. He really tried to flinch me down, so yeah, when you lack skill, you gotta use luck, right? He goes for Icicle Crash again, he doesn't get the flinch, and I basically get a healthy Chansey. Meanwhile, he's getting chipped down by Poison. I will click Soft Boil again, even though he's most likely going to switch out, but if I have my Chansey at full HP, it will be much easier to switch into this Mamoswine. Yeah, this Mamoswine has to switch into Rocks again, so that's going to be fine. He actually decides to go hard into Donphan as he takes Rocks damage. And the damage he took from my Clefable tells me he's max HP, because I think my Moonblast should have done more if it wasn't max HP. So if he's max HP, he's most likely isn't max speed, which means my Chansey and his Donphan have the same speed. But I have 31 speed on my Chansey, and I do win a potential speed tie. But even if I didn't win the speed tie, if he clicked Rapid Spin, I would have killed him. If he clicked anything else, I would have killed him, but I would have kept Rocks. So we get rid of the Donphan. And now he goes into Dragonite, and this is really great because he takes Rocks damage. So the multi-scale is broken, and I can go hard into Clefable. I should be able to live 2 Banded Earthquakes if he is Choice Banded. Let's see. He goes for Dragon Dance, which means he cannot knock me out, and I'm just clicking Moonblast here. Again, against a good player, I would have clicked Soft Boil, but he goes for Extreme Speed, which means he doesn't have Earthquake, and I'm clicking Soft Boil right here because I heal more than his Extreme Speed does damage to me. Unfortunately, he gets a crit, but yeah, it's whatever, it happens. There's nothing he can do about it as well. But yeah, when you don't have enough skill, again, he can only beat me with a bit of luck. He can only challenge me with a bit of luck, but it's fine. Since he's an average player, I'm pretty sure I can play around this. The unfortunate part is I do have to take a lot of damage with my Chansey, but I will knock out this Dragonite. He goes for Outrage, and his Dragonite goes down, and yeah, I will have to sacrifice my Chansey here because his Donphan is most likely his Mamoswine is most likely coming in, and I have no switch for Earthquake. But I know his Magnet Zone is scarfed, so my Diggersby is faster, and I have a Focus Sash Alakazam to check the Mamoswine, so I can still play around this, and I am quite confident. But he actually goes for knockoff, so this is why Kuzu is a bit of an average player, because he should have just clicked Earthquake and knocked me out, but because he clicked Knockoff, I basically get my Chansey to full HP. He does switch out. He could have ended my Chansey there, but he gave me a full HP Chansey, and I only had to trade my Eviolite away, which is a trade I take 90% of the time, 99% of the time. But yeah, I'm gonna go for the Toxic here. As he does the same, he misses. I do hit my Toxic, which is great, and I'm just clicking Seismic Toes just to get some chip off. He's most likely clicking Toxic again. He misses again, which gives me another turn. I'll basically wait till he hits Toxic and then switch out, but I'll click Seismic Toes again. And the poison is really wrecking up on his side. He does decide to switch into Skarmory, so he takes rocks damage, and he has to tank the Seismic Toes, which does 30%. He has Rocky Helmet, which means I'm going hard into my Magnezone, and if he clicks anything else but Roar and stays in, I'll basically get a free kill. He decides to go for Roost, and what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go for the Hidden Power Fire instead of Thunderbolt, because if I knock him out with Thunderbolt, I will basically let his Magnezone trap my Magnezone. By going for Hidden Power Fire, I can kind of beat his Magnezone down. But he goes for Stealth Rocks, which is fine. It would have been a 2-hit KO regardless of what I clicked. And the reason I didn't click Volt Switch is because I wanted my Magnezone in. But yeah, he decides to go into his own Magnezone instead of the Mamoswine. And he could have gone Mamoswine and guaranteed the kill, but he goes Magnezone. So I get damage off on his Magnezone as he actually goes for the Mirror Coat. Yeah. I mean, once again, if you are not confident enough about your skill, you need to cheese. And Mirror Coat Magnezone is really cheesy, but it worked. It worked here, but it's fine. I know it's not Scarfed, so I could go Chance here. I could also go Diggersby. I can guarantee a kill with Muck as well, but I think it's better to go Chansey and go for full HP. Because I don't think his Mamoswine can 2-hit KO me, because he's not Life Orbed. And he spammed Icicle Crash on my Chansey before, so I think it's Scarf, because his damage was way too little to be banded. And if he's Scarfed, then he cannot 2-hit KO me from full. He actually decides to go for Flash Cannon with Magnezone. And I basically get to full HP, and now I click Seismic Toes. I think it should knock him out, but he's most likely gonna switch into his Blissey, which is fine. This Magnezone is not a threat to me, because I can knock it out with HP Fire from my Alakazam, and I can knock it out with my Diggersby, because he's not Scarfed, so Diggersby is faster. Then I have to use my Alakazam for his Mamoswine. He does go for Volt Switch here, so he does get some chip off, which is okay. And Blissey does indeed come in. And what I can do here is I can poison him, and I can basically spam Seismic Toes. He goes for Toxic himself, he does connect here. What I actually want to do instead of clicking Seismic Toes now, I know he's gonna heal, so I'm going hard into my Muk. And if he does go for the healing move, I'll get a free knockoff off. So I get a free knockoff off. If he switches, something will die. And this will do about 50% to his health. And he's badly poisoned, so he cannot go for the long run. He actually has counter on this thing as well. It's fine. It's cheesy, but it's fine because he's at 24% now. So if I force him out, then even my Alakazam can kill him, because he has to switch into Rocks again if he switches, which means he will be in range of Psychic from Alakazam. So I can just go Diggersby here and click Frustration and claim a kill, because his Magnezone is about 24%, I believe. So he will also die to Frustration. And Frustration is stronger than Earthquake because of the happiness. It basically gives me 102 base power. And Earthquake is 100, so clicking Frustration is better. He does switch out into his Magnezone, and now everything is gonna die to Alakazam. So let's see what he does now. He has to go Mamoswine. And I can basically sack my Chansey on the Mamoswine. Because it's better to sack my Chansey, because if I get in my Chansey against his Blissey, his Blissey will be able to go for the healing move. Yeah, he goes Mamoswine, so he takes rocks damage. We'll put him close to 30%, 33, and I can just go Chansey here. And he doesn't knock me out here, so he takes another Stealth Rock hit. Does go for Icicle Crash. And I can click Seismic Dose here, and if he switches into Chansey, Blissey still dies, and there's always a chance he misses as well, but he connects, and now he's at 14%, so I can basically go Alakazam. He will die if he stays into Poison next turn, and if he switches out, the Blissey will die to my Psychic, so pretty easy game, I have to say, pretty easy game. It wouldn't have been this close, like it wasn't close, but it wouldn't have been this close if he didn't crit my Clefable. But I guess Kuzu did decently well for someone who isn't that experienced. But yeah, Blissey goes down. I guess if he's going to practice more, he might become a decent player. But yeah, he takes rocks damage and he only has one hit, so and I'm Focus Sash, so he cannot even knock me out. He cannot knock me out and he will die to poison. I'm clicking Psychic. Goes for Ice Shard, fearing the quick attack from my Diggersby, and he doesn't even get to see my Focus Sash. So yeah, pretty easy game, but yeah, GG.